Hello friends, welcome back to the channel again. It's been a long time. So today we are going to talk about something related to Christmas. As we all know that we are approaching Christmas, and next few episodes we're going to focus on Christmas and how we can actually prepare ourselves for Christmas. Isaiah chapter 9 verse 6 we read like this: For to us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. You would have heard this verse read at Christmas service in most of the churches. It's one of the most common Old Testament passages that is read during Christmas. We are going to meditate on this verse over the next few days and next few episodes. First of all, let me give you an idea of the context this verse is written. This is in chapter 9. So if you look at the later part of the chapter 8, we see that Isaiah and his followers are actually inquiring or going to astrologers or inquiring dead people and spirit to predict the future and to know about the future. Rather than they going to God and asking God for direction, that is Yahweh for direction, they are going to this worldly means or seeking this alternative revelation. That's what we see in later part of chapter 8. And they did not realize that their only safety was in teaching and testimony that Yahweh has already revealed. So because of that, God is actually warning them that if they continue to do that, they will land up in darkness. In chapter 9 verse 1 to 7, God talks about sending a child who would prove to be a great light for these people who are in the darkness. In the beginning of chapter 9, we see there are two names, that is Zebulun and Naphtali. They are actually territories of northern kingdom. Israel is divided into northern and southern kingdom. Northern kingdom is also called Kingdom of Israel, and southern kingdom is called Judea. Naphtali is located in the west of Sea of Galilee. The Zebulun is actually a smaller territory which is in the northwest border of Naphtali. They both are located in such a way that any invasion to this kingdom, that is in the northern kingdom, the first people who will be affected or impacted through the invasion will be people in this territory. So what happened was, around 732 and 733 BC, the Assyrian invasion happens and this entire kingdom was flattened and bulldozed. For next 10 years, the land was in desert, it was devastated, and the invasion actually is going on for the next 10 years. That's what we read in 2 Kings chapter 15 and 17 and so on. This is exactly the punishment or a judgment of Yahweh on the people of northern kingdom, because they were so rebellious. They were so sinful against God. There are few people who are probably good in the northern kingdom. There Hezekiah, King Hezekiah, King Josiah, and few other people. But overall, they were very, very rebellious people. But what is being promised through Isaiah is that we read in chapter 1, in the former time you brought into contempt the land of Zebulun and land of Naphtali, but in the later time you was made glorious the way of the sea. Former time, the contempt he's talking about is Assyrian invasion, but the later time God will not do that. Rather, He has made glorious the way of the sea. You see, actually this verse is actually being described in past tense, even though it is yet to come. It is deliberately used, the prophecy is used past tense because it is so certain that it can be described as something that has happened. So the same verse is actually being quoted by Matthew when Jesus actually beginning his ministry in chapter 4 verse 13 we read, Jesus went to Capernaum in the territory of Zebulun and Naphtali to start his ministry. You see, the Isaiah's prophecy is being fulfilled through Jesus Christ. The very region that was smashed by Assyrians and plunged into darkness and devastation, they will be the first people to see the great light that comes through Jesus Christ, and he would bring through his testimony and righteousness, and also through his teaching. Even though the kingdom of northern people were rebellious and they were so sinful, God did not forsake them. Even though the Assyrian invasion was precisely the judgment against those people, God did not leave them alone. But yet, in spite of that, you see Yahweh is being faithful to them. In spite of that, God is actually sending his only Son to these people, the people who are in the darkness, so that they will see the great light. We read in the chapter 9 verse 2, the people who walked in the darkness have seen the great light, and those who dwelt in a land of deep darkness, on them has light shone. Dear brothers and sisters, in the same way God has chosen us. He loves us in spite of our rebellion and sinful nature. He never gives up on us. Even though we repeatedly fall in sin, he has sent his only Son so that we can also enter into the light. The light. Jesus Christ has given us righteousness so that all of us can walk and live a life of holiness. Have you come to this light, or are you still in the darkness? Have you accepted Jesus as a personal Savior? I urge you to think about this today, even as we celebrating the Christmas. In the midst of all the celebration, have you accepted Jesus Christ as your personal Savior? And he is a light, and he will enable you to walk in the light, even though probably your light may be in dark at the moment. But come to this light.